In tonight's episode, we talk about Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, I know the pop culture news.
So this week we saw the thrilling, cinematic, stunning feature Cocaine Bear.
Based on a true story.
But highly fictionalized.
Is it? I mean, the story had a bear.
Yeah, that got high on cocaine that was
cocaine.
dropped by smugglers.
Yes.
But I don't think the rest of that stuff actually happened.
So bears don't eat people.
Well, I don't think that many people got
That's
eaten.
an interesting
Anyway.
thing about animals. Like bears in specific. Do they really like fancy eating a human?
I mean, not usually, but
'Cause-
I feel like I've heard that like once...
Because it's like for us eating, let's say, a monkey or a horse. No, even though there's places that eat horse, like there's no tomorrow. We're eating a cat, We're not gonna change the industry of food. We're not gonna move society. Everybody's gonna eat cat now. Even if we eat once, it's not gonna, unless it tastes really good. I don't know. I never ate a cat.
Yeah, me neither. And I'm not planning on it.
Well, we'll see. If Joe Biden in power, no.
Oh.
Anyways, so back to bears.
Uh-huh. Okay, so like you said, based on a true story, some smugglers carrying cocaine from South America dropped a whole bunch of it in the Chattahoochee National Forest in Georgia. And a black bear ate
Is that black or
so
brown?
much of it. It was a black bear.
Okay.
Ate so much of it and got super high, which is terrifying. So this movie kind of builds a bit of a comedic / disturbing, gory storyline around this bear that gets
Yeah, it's very
super high.
funny. It's different and creative. I think, I don't know, in my opinion, I think it should have more bear. I think it doesn't have, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the story that was built up around it was kind of mediocre. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was about as... I feel like the title tells you everything you need to know about the movie. There's a bear that does cocaine, and the rest of the story is as creative and surprising as the title.
Yeah.
So, it's a fun one to watch with friends one time.
And the movie was packed. It was full. It was
Yeah,
a
there were a
small
lot of
one,
people.
But there was a lot of people. Everybody was laughing and having a good time.
Yes.
There was the movie has, I think, 2 post-credit scenes, mid-credit
Mid-credit,
scenes.
yeah.
We don't know if there's a post-credit scene. We didn't wait because the 2 mid-credit scenes were enough. And then someone said something that I thought it was funny. Kind of like, nah, guy, you don't know anything. But the guy says like, what? They're gonna do another one? They're gonna out Marvel? I was like, yeah, what's up, man? Marvel didn't invent the stinger, the post-credit scene. Yeah, and even
all I have
before
to say about
that,
that.
yeah. But anyways,
Yeah.
but it was fun. It was not trying to fool or surprise anyone. The movie is exactly what you see in the trailer. And I forgot to check, but in the credits, there was like second unit Ireland.
Yeah, which...
I was like, why they went to Ireland?
Because, like, literal Georgia is right there, which is where
Maybe
so
it's
much stuff is
geography.
filmed there.
Maybe it's the geography.
No, I don't know.
I'm kidding.
Because, again,
Yeah.
like, the literal Appalachian Mountains.
But you know what? Is uber liberal Hollywood woke hypocrites? They don't want to shoot in Georgia. They rather go to Ireland.
Yeah, but is Cocaine Bear the film that we're going to use to make a moral stand?
You know those people. Anyways, directed by Elizabeth Banks. That was successful. She did 1 of 2 of the singing. What's it called? Pop girls? No, it's a cappella girls. Acapellas. No, what's the name of the movie?
What was that? Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect. She did.
Yeah.
She did 1 or 2 of those, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah. If she did, she was successful in that one. And she was in between that. She had the big fail. Her Charlie's Angels. But this one, it's good. It's entertaining. It's for everybody. I don't think anybody's gonna be offended that the bear is getting hurt. On the contrary, the bear gets.
Yeah, no, the bear is doing the hurting. Yeah.
We see some familiar names there. The guy there's the black cop. I think he had the exact same role in another recent movie. I can't remember. I have to Google.
He does seem like a guy who would get typecast.
But yeah, it's so him. It's one of the last. I'm not sure if it's the very last, but one of the last movies with Ray Liotta, and he plays a bad guy like he always does.
Yeah,
he does good. Playing those characters. I mean, he used to. May he rest in peace. We see Keri Russell.
Yeah.
As a tough mom. She's a doctor or a nurse. I'm not sure.
She's a nurse.
And her kid gets involved. They live close to the woods.
Her kid is lost in the woods at the same time this whole cocaine bear thing is happening.
The kids, especially specifically the boy, it's hilarious.
Oh man, truly one of the highlights. This little Southern boy.
Yeah. Margot Martindale is on, which is interesting because she did work with Keri Russell on The Americans. She's a great actress, a great dramatic actress.
She's the park ranger, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in this one, she's hilarious.
She is.
Just to prove how versatile some actors can be. They can do both and excel doing both.
Yeah, and she definitely does.
Alden Extress, I can't remember.
Aaron Reich.
Yeah. And
something like that.
Yeah. And what's his bucket? There's another, the guy from Modern Family, one of the gay guys. I can't remember his name.
Yes, it's not Mitchell.
But
Mitchell.
That's the character's name in Modern Family. His name is not Mitchell.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know, but he's one of those actors like he had that role for so long, like. I don't know. It's like Jason Alexander. It is very rare that I remember Jason Alexander's name. I just look at him like,
it's like Ross.
George Costanza.
Yeah. Oh, Ross, right? Nobody's going to remember Dave
Yes,
Schwimmer.
yes.
You might remember...
they're so closely associated.
Jennifer Aniston. Phoebe, Ursula Andress. No, that's...
Nope, that's her twin sister's name.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah.
It's some of the characters stay so.
Yeah.
Like there's a show called Episodes. Is a British American show. It's about some writers that came to America to write a show about this headmaster on an all boys school.
Yeah.
He's very dramatic, very British, and American TV buys the show and brings them to executive produce the show. And one of it's like, hey, we found a great guy to be the headmaster, and it's Matt LeBlanc, and then the reaction from them is like, you cast Joey?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But back to the bear. It's it's fun. It's funny. What else?
Yeah, I would describe it maybe as a bit of a slasher comedy, and that a lot of the comedy is based on just the horrific things that this bear does to people unfortunate enough to cross its path.
Yeah, and in that case, I'll be on the bear side. It's not that he does horrific things. They go mess with the bear, and you get
Yes, and like many slasher films, a lot of people make very stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Climbing a tree to get away from a black bear. Oh, foolish people.
So do bears really climb trees?
Black bears are really good climbers.
Wow.
You do not climb a tree to get away from a bear.
Gee.
That's a real bad idea.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what you do? Like if it's black, you stay in your back? Is that the...
No, the run these so black bear, you try to like fight back, you get all like intimidating and raw. If the bear's actually attacking, mostly like you just try not to engage the bear at all. Back away slowly, stay away, make a lot of noise so they don't come close to you in the first place. You just try, yeah.
So they're big cowards.
I mean, they'd rather not.
I mean, because if you make
mess with you, but
noise,
if it's too late,
there's a noise. I'm good that way.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to be fussed with it.
Okay.
Like, that's really noisy. There's some berries over here. I'll just go do that.
You would think at this point, Bear Society would realize that loud noise, it doesn't mean dangerous. But anyways.
I don't know. Frankly, if I was in the woods and there were a bunch of noisy people over there, I'd be like, I'll go over here. Anyway.
Okay, Cocaine Bear is available in theaters everywhere. It's doing good. Did I put any numbers for it?
No, we don't have numbers for it.
But it did really good. First week.
Yep.
And yeah.
Delivers what it promises.
There was at the end there was almost a tease for sequel with Cocaine Sheep, but it was just a joke. So yeah, definitely funny.
Yeah.
To go see with your boys or if your girls. But I mean boys and girls. I mean friends, not your little boys or little girls.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, we also saw Sharper on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, and that one helps. I did put numbers for that one.
Yeah,
right?
I did. It took. This is the best streaming week of 2023.
Granted, it doesn't say much because the year barely started.
It is February. Yeah.
But it's a good number, you know, when you go up. And the movie, it's good. It's interesting. It has some of the tropes and some of the problems that we complain on Andor because it's the same guy. You know, it's a very if it was some other director doing the same story, I don't know, you could think something like Ocean's 11. You know, very dynamic, very fast paced, very using comedic aspects to tell the story. And this one, he's serious all the time. He's very deep, thoughtful about everything. Sometimes even dark, but even the dark is not dark scary. It's kind of like bland in the middle. He tells the story. The story is good. The actors do a terrific job.
Yeah,
but. It's the way he does. It's not bad. Some people might get lost in the middle, not because of the story, but the pace.
I personally don't think the pace is that bad. It is definitely a slow burn. It's definitely nothing like. Well, okay. So this is a story about.
Because some of the
people, right?
Some of the stuff you realize. Good storytellers, Sixth Sense for one. The moment you find out, the moment of realization is that word, right?
Yeah.
It's like you realize when the character realizes, and then it's a slap in the face of the character, and then a slap in the face of the audience, right? Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that all the time either. Anyways. So on this one, you realize some of the stuff before the characters realize, and because of the slow pace, since you already know, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes before, it kind of like you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, and I guess there's other aspects of it too, like not just the con that's happening, but also kind of deep dives into the people getting conned, the people doing the con, why are they doing it? Are they good guys or the bad guys? I don't know. I thought it was interesting. My only issue with this kind of story is like maybe was there one twist too many? Like you do get to a point in the movie where it's like you start assuming like everybody's conning everybody. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's one twist too many. But again, that's like getting really picky. Overall, it was a solid movie.
If you like,
and definitely deserves the attention.
Yeah, Apple delivers. And in this case, they deliver too. You should, if you like, thrillers and heist movies, you should see this again. Not the more dynamic heist type of movie.
Yeah, this is more like a thoughtful, reflective.
Yeah, but it tells several stories, and but it has a great cast.
Yeah,
it's very well done. Sharper on Apple TV Plus. XL, I don't know. It's like every time there's Apple TV was the device, and there's Apple TV Plus, which is the
service.
The service.
Whatever. It's on Apple.
It's on Apple TV Plus.
So go check.
You had to pay those $4 a month.
Yeah.
For it. Anyways,
but there's some good content there.
We saw a couple trailers this past week. We saw the trailer for this other Apple TV Plus movie called Tetris. After the video game Tetris, and is I had no idea what it was about until I saw. I was like, Tetris. I don't know. They did a movie for emojis, right? There's I don't know if
that's what I was thinking of.
I don't know if it's in production limbo, if they will ever happen, but they want to make they did one for Pirates. Is not technically a game, it's a ride, but so it's Tomorrowland. They go around a concept and create a story. So they did that for emojis. There was rumor they done one. It's gonna come out soon for Mario. And they do Last of Us, they do for video games. But there's less story-driven, like emojis, or like there was, I don't know if it's still going to happen, but they wanted to make one for, what's a game, an 8-bit game that looks terrible, but everybody loves.
Donkey Kong?
No.
There are a lot of 8-bit games.
No.
They all look
it's like
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Oh,
they one for those. I thought it was Tetris. They would do some play on that. No, it's actually a historical movie. Is about the story of how Tetris came to be. Got out of Russia.
Yeah.
Alden.
Soviet Russia. Taron
Egerton as the main guy that is like venturing throughout this. And it looks very entertaining. It looks very interesting to tell a story that is a man doing video game business in the 80s.
Yeah, so this is like kind of the dawn of video games. There's one moment where he sees like the very first Game Boy prototype.
Yeah.
We see a Nintendo exec with like a little teeny tiny controller that's wired up to the TV and all that, or to the console. Anyway. It's like very early days of video games, so there's like a lot of visionaries involved, and like what makes it so spectacular and interesting is this is all set against like just the drama of the Cold War. So to get this game, like he has to go to the USSR, and now like the KGB is involved, and it's like capitalism versus communism and corruption and Lenin, and like it just
All
Gorbachev shows up.
80 soundtrack with the Soviet I think it's balalaika, I can't remember. That is the soundtrack of the game.
Yeah.
And intense, different than Sharper. This one is like very, very dynamic. And we'll see. Maybe it's the trailer, but again, it's Apple.
It looks
really well.
They haven't, and Taron Egerton picks good projects. I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think it would be a case of the trailer is so good and the movie is bad. I think so far the Apple people has been delivering.
Yes.
Tetris. Anything else about Tetris?
No, it looks great.
Yeah,
and it's coming out on a day.
March 31st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
A couple quick trailers we saw. We saw the trailer for this Bob Ross movie, which is not.
It's not Bob Ross.
Not Bob Ross?
It's called, what's it called? The Painter?
Paint. The movie's called Paint.
Paint.
It's not Bob Ross?
It's not Bob Ross.
Is that Bob Ross wannabe?
No.
It's a movie about Bob Ross, but they don't use Bob Ross's name?
Yeah, so basically, okay, we've got, is it Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson is a painter doing a TV show for public television. He's got big poofy hair, talks about nature and stuff.
So Bob
Ross.
Ross.
His name is Carl, so I think it's like inspired by Bob Ross. But a lot of the stuff we see in the trailer wasn't really part of Bob Ross's life.
Like what?
Like, well, just like a lot of the drama.
I mean, do we know?
I am kind of.
Okay.
He's got a pretty full Wikipedia page.
Oh.
So maybe we could call this a highly fictionalized story, loosely inspired by the life of Bob Ross. Yeah.
Okay. It looks interesting. Yeah, it's coming out soon. I can't remember the date.
Yeah.
The other one is this one looks cool too because the guy only do cool things. It's a new Guy Ritchie movie. It's called what's it called?
I I don't remember. I really enjoy Guy Ritchie movies, but they tend to sort of
Rudiger, Operation Fuse, Rudiger, or something like that.
Yeah.
And he brought his
Jason
pal,
Statham,
his
Hugh Grant.
old buddy. His
Yeah.
how does the vampire says? He's
Familiar.
He's one army man. He's
One man army.
The guy from What We Do in the Shadows. He has a sequence. He's talking about his friend. He's my
ride or die.
Yeah, my ride or die. My good time boy.
Yes.
My fellow man. My so he brings Jason Statham.
Yeah.
That's always there. This time he Hugh Grant is back. He worked,
playing a weapons dealer.
They worked together. A couple movies down the road. Aubrey Plaza is coming out in several big projects. She's in this one. Captain Pirate Jack Roberts, is that his name? Jack Roberts, Pirate Jack, from Princess Bride.
Oh, the Dread Pirate Roberts. Yes, Keri Elvis.
Keri Elvis is there. And it's good because it feels like he fits on Guy Ritchie's universe. Yeah, and it looks good. I mean, and what's the young guy? What's his name? I always think it's Kutcher, but it's not Kutcher. The guy doesn't act in the movie. It's,
I don't know his name.
Rusty. Anyways.
Yeah.
So and this one has a little bit of the last one had a little bit of film, and this one has film too. They use an actor to talk to a criminal and be close to a criminal. And anyways, Guy Ritchie delivers, and this one looks fun.
It looks like classic Guy Ritchie stuff, which means it's going to be good. There's going to be some heist stuff. There's going to be some loose, like disparate storylines that suddenly come together in a spectacular way at the end.
Yeah.
Lots of violence and great lines.
And of course, he always leave like something unanswered. That's very important for the plot. And at the end, you still don't know what's in the box. Yeah. Anyways,
it's good stuff. Any other trailers?
I think that's the ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to talk about the BAFTAs?
The BAFTAs gave their awards, and it's like the last chance. I mean, technically, there's some other small festivals, specific festivals for writing, for producers, etc., etc. But the BAFTA is a complete one. It's the British version of the Oscars. You know, BAFTA is the British Academy of Film, Television, Amigos. I mean, I don't know what the last A is.
Probably arts. Maybe?
Arts, sure. Let's say it's arts.
I just made that up.
Yeah. Anyways, and it usually tells us a little bit about what comes to the Oscar, which is traditionally probably the biggest night of award for film.
Yes.
Specific. And what we saw was that All Quiet on the Western Front won, beating Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Elvis, and Tar. Not discrediting the movie. The movie is absolutely deserved of all the praise. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And to be honest, among these, I would pick that one too.
Yeah.
But in America, I think they're gonna go for the social politics and political correct and give to Everything Everywhere All at Once, because last couple of years they've been political and praising all the cinemas. In this case, Asia. But
is it actually an Asian film, or does it just star Asian
people? But
actors?
the Asian people, the
center.
Asian community. Of course, there's China money too, but not talking about that. But yeah, always Quiet in the Western Front is really good, and it's surprisingly. It's not surprisingly good, but it's surprisingly that it's getting so much praise because it's a third version. It's like there was a movie that won an Oscar. There was a remake for TV movie, and there's the third version. This one made in Germany with German people
really,
Germany.
Really good. It also won best film, but also best film not in the English language. And then Banshees of Inisherin won for the Outstanding British Film. Let's see. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won Best Animated Film. Edward Berger won Best Director for All Quiet on the Western Front. And Original Screenplay went to Banshees of Inisherin. adapted screenplay went
for
to...
directors, Spielberg is not there, right?
Oh, yeah, good point. Spielberg is not there.
Yeah, it's because I guess they
what do you have to do to get nominated for a BAFTA?
I don't
like, is it anybody? Or do you have to have Great Britain involved somehow?
I guess so, because none of those have some of the ones nominated for the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Fabelmans is there. I guess it was just a screenplay.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a matter of choice. And they choose British directors, but then unless Tony Kushner is British.
I don't know.
Anyways,
All Quiet on the Western Front won for adapted screenplay. Austin Butler and Cate Blanchett took Best Actor and Actress.
What? Did she beat Ana de Armas?
Yeah, well, that's because Ana de Armas doesn't act in that movie. She just says,
well, Ana de Armas is not like that.
Okay, sure, but I'm just saying, like, between... these other nominees... Yeah, I would have liked to see this go to anybody else. Emma Thompson, Michelle Yeoh, Danielle Dead... I don't know who that is. Viola Davis, Cate Blanchett. Yeah, all of these women did so much better.
Danielle Deadwyler. She's highly praised for her role in Teal, but she didn't get Oscar nominations, which caused controversy. The Oscars are white, whatever. But she's apparently, we didn't see the movie yet, but apparently she's really good. But on the BAFTA,
in the trailer, she's
got
pretty
a nomination.
Powerful. Let's see, what were some other ones? Barry Keoghan and
Elvis, Austin Butler beating Brendan Fraser, Colin Farrell. And Bill Nye, which we have been getting praise everywhere, especially Brendan Fraser. It's surprising for Butler.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He did a great job in that movie though.
Yeah. But I mean, and it's tough because I was saying this other day. There's so many movies about Elvis, so many series about Elvis.
Yeah.
And Elvis became such a caricature character that anyone can do Elvis.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. I mean, I don't know. I can't. But anyways, that is to make him realistic and in a way that is sympathetic and empathic for audiences.
To show him as like a human and give him depth beyond
instead
the persona.
Instead of just being someone that's like, always talks like this, shakes his booty.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I guess he did do a good job.
Banshees of Inisherin took Best Supporting Actress and Actor. All Quiet on the Western Front won for Best Original Score, and for cinematography, and for not for editing, but still, like they're getting a lot, and it's all like highly deserved. I think.
Yeah. One to mess up the midfield was Babylon. That won Best Production Design.
Good for them.
Going against All Quiet, which is spectacular. And the Batman. You might say what you want by the movie, but the movie is beautifully done on the
really
visual aspect.
Yeah. I know the Batman isn't for every diehard Batman fan, but I thought it was a great movie and a nice entry into the Batman movie, whatever. Everything Everywhere All at Once took for editing. Elvis took for costume design and makeup and hair. All Quiet on the Western Front took for best sound. And Avatar: The Way of Water took best special visual effects.
Oh, they got that wrong. You should go to I guess for special effects, sure, fine.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know, but they're up against Maverick, Everything Everywhere, Batman, and All Quiet on the Western Front.
But if you consider all the other candidates, you have one very important thing on the discussion is about special effects. Or is it about special effects to tell a story? Because if it's to tell a story, Avatar doesn't really. It's like the same movie again.
Yeah.
When for every other movie, especially including and especially Top Gun, the story, and the effects are so close together that you can't separate them.
Yeah. Well, as annoying as James Cameron is, and as mediocre as that story is, the animators, the teams behind the scenes did do a really good job.
Oh, did you see this week?
Was it in the service of a great story? No. But
Did you see on the James Cameron opens his mouth and trash comes out of it session of this show? He was comparing himself to Tolkien.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh, okay. So when you think he said stupid things, he comes back and said even stupider things.
The guy, he's shot himself in his own foot so many times that, like, there's no feet left. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well.
I could have enjoyed those movies if I didn't hear James Cameron in my head saying stupid things like that all the time. I could have sat back and said, oh, this is a perfectly fine movie. What a lovely world he created. But instead I just hear, I'm empowering women. This is better than Wonder Woman. I'm creating the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. And he did the same thing before, comparing the first Star Wars and saying it was better.
Yeah.
Anyways, but on that note, still talking about jerks of Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many choices this week.
Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to 16 years by the California court, but he will not serve those 16 years in prison until he serves the 23 years in prison that he was sentenced in New York.
It's so beautiful.
So total of he's done.
Yeah, 39
again,
years.
He might still appeal and play insanity into the whole game that money provides.
But either way, a lot of his future is going to be spent dealing with prison, lawyers, courts, generally being a criminal. So, that just feels real nice.
Another one that's trying to get away from justice is Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
He shot and killed director of photography on the set of Rust, and as the judicial proceedings start, he not even showed up at court.
Yeah, which is not a classy move.
He sent a not guilty plea to his lawyers, and the proceedings will continue. He just got a victory recently. He will not spend, I think it was 5-6 years in prison, I think, or it was more, I can't remember. But the charges lowered, so even if he goes to prison, it's gonna be less than was expected first.
Yeah.
More jerks.
I think that's it for the jerks, but there's still plenty of okay, well, Meta, there's a bunch of jerks there. Meta is launching a paid verification service for Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, I thought this was hilarious.
So, remember that thing that was supposed to just destroy the world when Elon Musk introduced it for Twitter?
Yeah.
So, Zuckerberg is doing it over at Facebook.
Money rules, and you see, Musk was doing, what he does, making money, and people go, why can you do that? Now Facebook is doing it too. Nobody's claiming, nobody's, complaining, nobody's crying. And a lot of people are paying.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That's why.
Anyways.
Yeah. So social media continues to be a hellscape that we just can't seem to live without. So that's great. In the meantime, Warner Brothers Discovery, they've got a literal not literal, but they've got a mountain of debt between them and profitability. So good luck, guys.
Yeah, and that's why they keep canceling shows. They announced in the end, at least for the Succession, they announced the end of Succession after 4th season, which is the next one. So there will be time to finish the season. And shows like they got out of the platform of HBO Max, like Westworld, is still damaging the company. They're still losing money because of that show, among others.
Yeah. In this week's round of layoffs, NPR is apparently laying off 10% of their workforce.
Yeah.
So I guess the pledge drives aren't doing so well, or I don't know, or they're just tightening up,
squeezing because the costs are getting higher, and the profits are getting low. So they have to find a solution, and the rope breaks at the weakest point. Do you say that in English?
No, but we should.
Yeah. So it's a metaphor for it's not on the top they're gonna break. It's always in the bottom. So 10% of the workforce is gone.
Yep. And then drama at a soap opera. The boss of Young and the Restless has fired the entire writing staff, or it says entire breakdown writing staff. What does that mean?
And he did it was not. Of course, there's the economical reasoning, but he
Mm-hmm.
said it's like, I'll do it. I'll do all your jobs out of here. Very, very Hollywood moment of like, Larry David plus
Yes.
Ari Gold from Entourage, and those crazy Hollywood acts like, get your butt out of here. You're never gonna find job in this town. Kind of thing. I mean, he didn't say that. Oh, he did. I don't know. But he's gonna.
I don't know, but I feel like aren't there like unions and guilds and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, they might fight.
Yeah.
It depends. But
I don't know. Okay. And Ryan Seacrest will no longer be part of Live with Ryan and Kelly after 6 seasons.
Yeah.
So.
Kelly remains.
Yeah.
Apparently, everything ends, but not Kelly.
I guess. Yeah, she's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, she did do Stratham, the former football guy. Before that, did she do with Regis?
I think she did it with Regis.
Oh wow! And Regis was
but
there.
Don't quote me on that.
Television.
Seriously. Anyway, so will they find another Ryan or another? I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I'm not really big into morning television.
So the crisis because of bad inflation, the economy is messing with everybody, and even Disney is suffering from that. They pushed the Marvels, the pseudo Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and WandaVision follow up with the 3 Marvel girls, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and I think the other one is Phantom. In the books, she was Miss Marvel for a while, but I think right now in the books she's called Phantom.
Phantom?
Isn't it like
Fathom?
No, with O. Phantom. Phantom.
Spell it.
It's PHOTOM. Phantom.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a
photon.
Yes, photon.
Yeah, photon, like a particle of light.
Yes.
Yeah, photon.
She's all about light. She's a rip-off of Dr. Light from DC. But anyways.
But you know what? As long as it's cool, I mean,
but she was a
there's so many rip-offs.
She was a rip-off in the 60s when she was created, even though Captain Light came in the 40s. But anyways, so Disney Marvel is pushing the movie to November.
To November, which puts it at the same time as a Disney animated musical called Wish.
Yeah, which shows a little bit of lack of confidence. Yeah. They're willing to split audiences because in a lot of cases, people they're gonna go see one might gonna go see the other one too. But if you put them, they split. So that shows a little bit of a lot of confidence on the Marvels, maybe because of the how the first movie performed.
I don't know. It seems like a bad idea because if I'm just thinking about like when I was a kid growing up, and taking your whole family to the movies, that's a big expense. And so if you're putting out 2 like family movies at the same time, I wonder how many families are going to go see both.
Oh no, nobody's going to see both. I mean, not nobody. Nobody's a lot, but it will not transpire. It will not. That will not result in a good decision. Period.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They're gonna split. If they, I don't know, they might. They will definitely damage one of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's disappointing because either one of these movies could do well. We'll see. We shall see. Echo and Ironheart also got pushed to 2024.
Yes.
So that happened. But in the meantime, Quantumania is doing kind of okay.
Yeah, it passed the $100 million mark. It didn't do well in China, but I guess again, who cares about China? But Hollywood does.
Yeah.
But China is very picky about what they see and what they consume. As a classic moment, we remember that The Force Awakens had John Boyega's character tiny in the poster.
Yeah.
Because the Chinese don't like people.
Yeah. So
anyways,
that's great.
So they have their preferences. Like for instance, Transformers movie do really well there.
Which is why we were afflicted with so many Transformers movies.
And they might get it right sometime.
I mean, at some point you just have to say, let it go.
But it's Anyway, so Quantumania is doing good. Besides the critics are hating on it,
which I really don't get. I thought it was a fun, solid movie.
I know.
I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I think it was cool. It was good, but you know, it's a white family fighting a black guy. No representation there. So people was like, Hollywood. Anyways.
Well, yeah, but I've been seeing this among Marvel fans, and we are pretty consistently out of sync with the Marvel diehard or the MCU diehards. So
it's definitely not as bad, and you might say the value on the Eternals was bigger, but it's definitely not as bad as the Eternals.
No, and this one finally like really introduces Kang as a big scary bad guy that I'm invested in now.
Yeah.
And anyway,
but one of the production people at Disney, Marvel, revealed that if there's problems with the visual effects on Ant-Man, if there's if there's poor quality on Ant-Man, Quantumania special effects, it's because of the economy. Again, we mentioned that several times today alone, because the economy. Marvel, Disney moved money and resources from Quantumania to Wakanda Forever, which, to be honest, it's they were dealing with little, because if they moved stuff from Quantumania to Wakanda Forever, and Wakanda Forever doesn't look like. Well, it looks okay. It looks like every other Marvel movie. Is nothing. Different or newer, but there's that.
Okay.
Another quick one about Disney producers. This guy from Toy Story. He not Toy Story. What's it? The Buzz failed movie.
Yeah, Lightyear.
Well, Lightyear. He came to light and blame the failed of Lightyear. He blamed on the fans. It's
No, that's not how this works. If the fans don't like your movie, that's not a fan's problem. That's a you problem. Disney Plus has also canceled Big Shot and Mighty Ducks Game Changers. So oh no. Okay, moving on. Anything else about Disney?
Nothing comes to mind. Never mind.
Okay, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 got got a release date in September. So watch out for that.
Yeah, I still didn't see the second one. The first one everybody saw.
It's
had a good time.
Solid movie. I've never been super interested in sequels because the first one is just so neat and tidy and wrapped up in a package.
Yeah, but you can do well with those 20 plus years later sequels.
That's
true.
Know,
when you do properly.
Yeah.
There was this guy on this group I'm part of. He was talking about how examples of movies that did terrible, like the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. I would have to check the list. Some others that destroy the characters from the originals many years later, and then movies that come and respect the characters, elevate them to the level they deserve, even though they have all the problems, and they overcome, like Top Gun, among others, and there's that with sequels that come so long after, and when well done, they could be really well done, but mostly these days, because they want to insert social politics from these days and stuff that was made 30 years ago.
Social politics plus money grabs.
They want to change for modern audiences. I was like, they fail.
Yeah. All right, CBS renewed a bunch of shows. Survivor and The Amazing Race. Like, why is this an announcement? These are eternal shows that will be on forever, I feel like. Young Sheldon, Ghosts, which is so good, The Neighborhood, and Bob Hearts Abishola.
Yes, among others. The FBI shows, the crime shows, which I didn't put on the list because we personally don't watch them.
No. I want to say one thing about The Neighborhood. I was thinking about that versus The Neighborhood versus You People.
Yeah.
And how and even Blackish to an extent, which of course come from the same creator, Kenya Harris?
No, Kenya Barris. Did You People and Blackish.
Yeah.
The Neighborhood is someone else.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
For You People was so depressing because I felt like the message there was like black people and white people will never be able to get along. Race relations, it's hopeless. These are irreconcilable differences and everything is terrible. Even though it ended with a happy ending. And Blackish, there's kind of that same messaging too. That like these are great divides that we are just like irreconcilably different and there's no hope for any kind of positive relationship or interaction or anything else between the races. Whereas The Neighborhood does...
To the point that in Blackish, for instance, there was very few, if any, white characters. There were normal people. All the white characters were extremely racist. They were idiots. They were like, unrealistic. Because even in dictatorial nations in Africa or in the Middle Eastern, where they are racist, or racist is institutionalized. You have real people. And in just grabbing the tail of your argument, The Neighborhood is very more realistic.
And it's a lot more positive because they do deal with, especially in the first couple seasons, they dealt with a lot of those cultural differences and how, like, this white family, the Johnsons, moved into this neighborhood and, like, they stuck out like sore thumbs. They didn't know how to get around or what to do. They're always, like, committing cultural faux pas and all the rest. But they become really good friends and they have great relationships in spite of or because of their differences, and I would much rather watch that.
Yeah, they sort of almost become, and TV does that all the time, but it sort of becomes like one family that live in two different houses. In this case, three, because the kids live in the house. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, so just a thought about that. Okay, let's finish up with HBO and Warner. HBO Max has ordered an It prequel series.
Yeah, Andy Muschietti is gonna direct multiple episodes. We mentioned that Succession will end after season 4.
Yep, confirmed by the creator. And Johnny Knoxville may have dropped a White Lotus spoiler.
Yeah, he was talking to his Instagram audiences, and he was talking about Mike White and how they are friends, and how Mike White was in Tokyo doing White Lotus, and he's like, wait, did you see? Oh, yeah. I don't know if I should say that, but again, it's not a surprise that the show was moving to Asia next season. They hinted at that, so
yeah. Either way, we'll watch it. It's been a really good show so far. Over at Warner Brothers, is this Hogwarts Legacy?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going gangbusters. It's very successful and totally deserves to be.
And the game looks good. It looks
good
I
game.
didn't quite play yet. I can watch her playing. It looks it makes the story driven, the narratives from the book, and it looks a good action playability of a good video game.
Yeah, it's so great, and they were brilliant with the setting. There are no characters from any of the existing movies or franchises or anything. It's all new, but it's all set in this very familiar setting.
So is that before or after the books?
Way before.
Way before.
Oh yeah, we're like 1890s maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember
someone
the setting.
Someone mentioned. I didn't read it. Didn't delve deep into it, but I saw on my timeline someone mentioned, "Oh, this game is so good." Also because it included Professor whatever that was mentioned in the books, or was in the books, and it was in the movies. So I don't know if it's some old professor.
They may reference someone, but yeah, we're like a century before the Harry Potter books, and I'm pretty sure this is happening before even the.
Can any of the things we see in the game can be traced to the books? Like yesterday we're playing it and they said the Professor Percival, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is there something that no? So
I don't remember. Granted, it's been a while since I read the books. So I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, educate us in the comments. But I think they've done a really successful job of getting us into this world, fully immersed in this wizarding world that is just so, this is cliche and stupid, but it really is so magical and so delightful. But also staying independent enough of all the other parts of the franchise that it really feels new and fresh, and we're not stepping on any toes, we're not retconning anything. And the way the game is set up, it's so immersive, and it's just, oh my gosh. All my little millennial fantasies about getting my letter for Hogwarts are coming true.
If the game does well, and so far it sounds like it's doing, and I'm talking about the story, if it's good, if it's accepted and loved by the fans, it might turn and become, future content for Harry Potter. I mean, Warner Brothers wants to do more movies, and especially since there's a gap. We just witnessed the Game of Thrones prequel show. That is really good, so they could find some solution for that in Harry Potter.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing that. So that's going really well. Shyamalan has signed a multi-year first look deal with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, he loves Warner Brothers, or Warner Brothers love him, and we all benefit from that.
Yes. More Shyamalan movies. That's a better world.
Yeah.
A world I want to live in.
And some of these Warner Brothers news comes from the quarterly presentation that Zaslav, the CEO of the company, did to the stockholders meeting and stuff like that. And a big one that he just announced there was that they're gonna make more Lord of the Rings movies.
Yep. They promised new and exciting. So, and from other bits that I read in the articles about this, it doesn't sound like they're remaking the actual trilogy.
No.
Which would be a phenomenally stupid decision.
Especially because PJ is involved. PJ is in talks with them. He's going to participating, so he's not going to redo his movies for more than audiences.
Yeah, no, he made... What I'm hoping for is maybe some Silmarillion content.
Oh,
or
that's
maybe
so tough.
like
that would be...
not the whole thing, but like maybe one of those, even just like one of those stories or something.
No, I mean,
some other part of this massive mythology that Tolkien created.
That would be ideal. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
But there's the rights problems because the family. I can't remember the details, but that's why Amazon is doing that crappy show about the appendixes. It's because
what rights does Warner Brothers have
to the Lord of the Rings?
But so wait, no, I thought Amazon has that now.
No, they have for TV.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which is not even technically TV.
That's so stupid.
So the Silmarillion, it might come a day. Definitely not now. Warner doesn't have money. They are going through struggles, so I don't think it would happen now. But one day, we might see. Let's see what they're gonna do next. They're gonna make so much money. They're gonna be so beautiful and successful. Peter Jackson's gonna get more Oscars for it.
Yes.
And with that happening, we might get the Silmarillion and.
Maybe
the Quintus Silmaril, and
or
Baron
even
and
something.
Luthien,
Yeah, I was gonna say Baron and Luthien.
And the Valar and the Song of the Ilúvatar. Anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
If not us, maybe our kids or grandkids, but it will come. Even if because that's the thing about rights, right? So we come and die, our kids come and die, and our great kids will live in a time that becomes public domain. So we're not gonna have to spend money to get those stories told. So they're gonna tell them, and hopefully someone will do well. Maybe Peter Jackson III. Anyways, anything else?
No, I think that's all we got.
Okay, so I guess that's it for this week. We come back next week for more movies, TV, pop culture, and no real stories this week. I guess the real story was the bear. The science behind.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yes. And that's it for this week. We come back next week with more pop culture news. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.